Hi everyone, welcome back to the last color and chat of 2020. I thought we'd finish out the year with a picture from Deborah Muller. Since I like her books so much and I color in them all the time, I thought it would be fitting to go out with one last Deborah Muller picture on camera. And we're working from Glamour Ghoul Pinups today, and we're gonna do this Demon Girl. And I'm gonna do her skin red, but I gotta find the right red color. I want it to be a light red color, but this isn't as light as I thought it would be. Okay, I think this is the color that we're gonna use. Vermilion. Alright. 2020 was kind of a slow year, I think. I started the channel this year, but the year seemed to crawl on, really. I think it's because we were at home so much. So I'm ready for it to be 2021. Maybe it'll be a better year. Who knows? With the vaccine stuff coming out, I'm thinking maybe things can return to normal finally. I'm coloring this a few days in advance, but I am going to have this go up on New Year's Eve as my, like, last minute color and chat. We don't really do too much for New Year's Eve. We don't really have a big party or anything. We never really have. We usually just go to my parents' house and eat pizza and watch a movie, and that's about it. I'm sure that we'll stay up till midnight because that's usually when I go to sleep anyways, is midnight. So I would be up normally. But we don't really, I don't know, we don't have a big party or anything. I know some people have big parties on New Year's. We don't even watch the ball drop. Well, we don't have cable, but my parents do, but, you know, we don't even watch that. I think it's not that interesting, to be honest. I think that's maybe more of an event that is more interesting to see in person. Watching it on TV is kind of just a little boring. So, yeah, that's what we'll be doing. Not too much exciting, but that's alright. Okay, so she's got on polka dot pants. So we'll, I don't know what color we'll make those. Not sure yet. Okay. Yeah, not too sure on that one. But we'll see where this goes. I'm gonna do some glitter, of course. I think Deborah Muller's pages work really good with glitter gel pens. So I know I'm gonna do red glitter. We'll do her fingernails and her lips, probably. And maybe the halo, because she is wearing a halo. And she's got all of her tattoos and everything. I like to do the tattoos in black. So, we'll do those. Probably not the one that says Mom. I'll probably do that just in red. If I did it in black, you wouldn't be able to see that it says Mom on it. Hopefully your Christmas was good and eventful and you got everything you wanted. We did. I got Doug a tablet, a drawing tablet, for digital art. So he can draw on his computer now. I can't draw at all, really don't know much about it, but apparently it's very different from drawing on a pen and paper and is much easier, I guess. I don't know. To me they'd be the same, but whatever. But he really likes the tablet. He's been using that a lot. And he got me a pair of shoes that I've really been wanting. They probably both cost about the same amount, so we kind of came out even there. And my parents got me a model horse from Breyer that I have been wanting, because the other thing that I collect, aside from coloring books obviously, is model horses. And they're kind of expensive. That's sort of an expensive hobby to have. And I got a cookbook that I had been wanting, and then we both got a bunch of gift cards for various things, like for PlayStation games and for different restaurants that we like to eat out at. And I think I got Douglas a gift card for Steam, which is like a computer game website. So yeah, we had a good Christmas. Originally we were going to be getting a PlayStation 5, but if you have been trying to get one for yourself or for kids or grandkids, you know how difficult they have been to get a hold of. So we'll just be getting one sometime next year, whenever... Hang on. What? Okay, that's a donkey. Whenever the rush dies down. Someone's home, probably. That's why the donkey's out there screaming. So we're still getting one. It's just going to be whenever the rush dies down. They released this year, and I don't think anyone thought they were going to be as hard to get as they were. I was trying, my mom was trying, my dad was trying, and they were just sold out everywhere kind of instantly. Like, you know, they'd put them on the Walmart website, and before you could even hit the checkout button, they'd be gone. But we still had a really good Christmas. Okay, let's do her tail. I would say at least that we did. And then got money from Doug's relatives. So I didn't get any coloring books, but I didn't ask for any. So, you know, I got what I asked for. I'll probably use some of the money on a couple of books. I want to get the other miniatures from Camellia Angel Cova. What are they? They're spring and summer, I think. I don't have those two. And I really like the seasonal miniatures that she's done. So I know I'll get those. And then we'll see what else I can put in the cart, you know. That'll probably be sometime in January. I do have a book coming, though. I think it's supposed to be here on the 31st, so the day I upload this, I think it's supposed to get here. If it doesn't experience any delays, we'll have to see about that. I'm not sure with how everything's going. Amazon's pretty good at getting things out on time, though, so I imagine that it will probably be here. So I do have a couple books that I bought this month, but I kind of bought them for myself. They weren't really, you know, Christmas presents. Okay. Let's do the black, like I was talking about on the tattoos. I'm going to use one of my Staedtler fine liners for this, since it's, you know, a fine space. I think I'm also going to do her eyes black. I've done a demon in this book before, and I did the whites of the eyes as black and left like the cornea itself, the iris, the part of the eye that would be colored. I don't think that's the iris, right? White, and I think it turned out kind of cool. So I'm going to do the same thing on this girl, I think, because I like to do that on my demon girls. And this is a good book for that. I love Deborah's spooky books. Okay. There's her tattoo, so yeah, let's do her eyes. I'll probably give her glittery eyeshadow too. Deborah always makes their eyelids look kind of like they're wearing makeup to me, so I will do some glittery eyeshadow as well as the lipstick. Okay. There we go. See what I mean? I think that looks good. Alright. I don't know what color to do her pants and her little bra in. I'm going to do her hair red as well. Well, actually, no, I'm going to do the hair red. I don't know. I was going to do these things here in the back in black. Might do her pants in a dark color as well. This is the Warm Gray 07 Cali Art marker, and it's not black, but it's almost black. Not as dark as the lines, so like you can use it on grayscale, but it still comes out pretty dark. So I might use that, because I think doing a page in red and black would look good. Alright, let's do her hair though. Okay, this is Geranium, and I did her skin in Vermilion, by the way. I'm probably going to mostly use my Cali Art markers on this. I don't know. I do have my Hoo-Hoo markers over here that I can pull out if I wanted. But I'm just feeling the Cali Art markers today. Okay. Let's see, hopefully that'll be visible. I try to move my arm where things are still visible, but I kind of hold the page awkwardly to color, I know that, so hopefully you can see the picture as I am coloring it. I don't know what else I'm going to buy though as far as books go. I need to get caught up on Jade Summer's Grayscale, but my problem is they have some books out that are in grayscale that I don't have. I think Unicorns and like Alice in Wonderland. But lately they've been taking a lot of their books and doing those 4-in-1 books, you know, so they can have like 100 pages. And I'm worried that I'm gonna like, you know, buy up all the ones that I need in grayscale, and then they're gonna put out a book that was 4-in-1 and it is gonna contain a bunch of the books that I still needed, and it'll be like half the price. So I'm like too worried to spend too much on them right now in case they do put out like another fantasy type collection, because it's more of the fantasy ones that I don't have in grayscale. I think at least. You know, so I'm like a little bit worried to do that in case they put them all out and I could have saved, you know, something like $20 on it, because that could go for several other books. So I don't know, I'm just playing a waiting game to see what they're going to do. I know Jade Summer said they aren't going to release anything new for the rest of this year. That was before Christmas. They put out their few books and then they said they were done for this year. And I don't know when in 2021 they'll start releasing. I'm sure they'll have stuff come out in January. So I'm a bit afraid to get caught up with that. Just in case, you know, they would put something out, because that would be my luck. You know what I mean? Like, I would buy up all the ones I need, and then they would put one out as a collection that has everything in it that's half price. That would just absolutely be how my luck would go. That was my phone, sorry. Let me check that really quickly. Okay. Let me answer this really quickly. Okay. So, In other news, the dog was supposed to go to the vet today. He had an appointment, but they set it up 6 months ago. He was supposed to go at 4 p.m. today on the 28th for a shot. And like I said, they set it up 6 months ago, but we called today to make sure that everything was still going, and they said they didn't have an appointment in the records or anything. So now he goes at the end of January. And I don't know why they said it wasn't in the records. I do have the appointment card with me, but, you know, it was 6 months ago, so they might have just lost it or might have had to reschedule things and move things around. It wasn't really a super important appointment anyways. It was a heartworm shot. He is on a shot for heartworms because we live in an area with a lot of heartworms. Like, there's a big map up at the vet that shows heartworm cases by states, and our area is, like, in the dark, dark red for Missouri. And our neighbor's dog actually even had heartworms, so I know that there's, like, mosquitoes carrying heartworms literally in our backyard. So I want to make sure that he's on a prevention for it. And, you know, usually you would do, like, the flea, tick, and heartworm pill combo every month. And it's not that it's difficult to get him to take pills, because believe me, it's not. I think he would eat anything you handed him. It's just that I tend to forget it. Even if I write it down on the calendar, I forget to look at the calendar. So, I think last year when we went to the vet, they offered this shot that is every 6 months, so twice a year, for heartworms. And they said we'd be on our own for flea and tick prevention, you know, because obviously he couldn't take a pill that does all three since he's already got the heartworm preventative shot. But I thought that that sounded better because it would make it a lot easier to remember, and the way that it's twice a year, we could schedule it because he does go in for an annual checkup, so, you know, he can have his annual checkup in his first round, and then at the end of the year, you know, he can have his second round of the shot. And he's a dog that likes to travel. He will get in a vehicle and go anywhere, and he's very excited about it. And he loves to go to the vet even, but I think it's because he's a little bit spoiled at the vet. They like him a lot. The Norwegian Elk Hound breed isn't that common in the United States. I don't remember where they're ranked on the AKC list for how common they are. They're somewhere down there. They're not, like, by any means, you know, some of the rarest breeds. There's a couple hundred of them here in the United States. It's around, like, 20 breeders, I think. They're more common, obviously, in Norway. But I think that the vets like him because they don't see Norwegian Elk Hounds often. Or maybe never at all. Possibly Finn's their only one that they see. So they really like to play with him. Because he is a big fluffy dog that's friendly. And they give him a lot of treats. He's a very polite dog, so when the vets walk in, they go to their computer to start entering information, and, like, on the desk they have a little jar of treats. And Finn knows that, Finn remembers that, so he'll go up to them and sit down right beside them and stare up at them while they're on the computer the whole time. And I guess maybe some of the dogs are not so well trained when it comes to treats. Maybe they're jumping up all over the vets and stuff, but Finn just kind of sits there and looks at them like, are you going to give me the treat or not? And so they like that, because they always comment on, oh, he's so polite, you know, he sits so well for treats and everything. So they give him more treats, I think, perhaps because of how he reacts to them. So yes, he loves the vet because he gets all kinds of treats and he gets all kinds of attention. Last time we went for his checkup and his shot 6 months ago, several different vet techs came in just to get on the floor and play with him. So, you know, he gets all kinds of attention there and he likes that. Usually, after we go to the vet, we would take him to the pet store, but we haven't really been doing that this year because of everything that's happened, you know, and I'm not sure. For a while there, the pet store by the vet's office wasn't allowing people to bring their pets in. I think it is now, but for quite a while they weren't. So we haven't been to the pet store this year. I'll have to take him next year once things get better, because he likes going to the pet store as well. He always does good at the pet store too. And I let him pick out a treat when we go. There's these big bins at the front of these Whimsy's dog treats, and I like those. They're supposed to be good for your dog's teeth and everything, and they're made out of, like, sweet potatoes, I think is what the main ingredient is. And he really likes those, so I always let him grab one out of there and pay for it. And last time we went to the pet store, they had these little cookies for dogs that look just like Oreos, and all of the pet store employees were feeding him those because, like I said, he just sits in front of the treat machine and just sits down and stares at you. So, you know, I think they like that. I think they like that he's kind of calm about it. But yeah, so our plans kind of changed. We were supposed to take him to the vet in the evening, and oh well. Now it'll be in January, which I don't really like because, you know, I'll have started college by then. I liked that it was now when I have free time. But, you know, we'll figure it out. It's late in the day, so I'm sure we can have our work done by then. Oh, and another fun thing that I like to do, because I do like to take him everywhere when I can, you know, it's just fun to do with him. So there is this called Andy's Frozen Custard. We live in Missouri, and I think that that's a Missouri thing. But, if you bring your dog up to the window when you get your ice cream, they will give you a free cone for your dog, too, with a little bit of ice cream on it. And we like taking Finn there if he's good at the vet, which he always behaves at the vet. He's always good, so he always gets an ice cream cone at the end of it. And it's kind of funny because he really, though he's polite, he really just wolfs down his food. I don't know why. Just does. He has to have one of those slow feeder bowls, otherwise he'll eat too fast. But one of the times we went, there was someone else there with, like, it looked like a little Australian Shepherd or a Border Collie type dog. And it was just licking the ice cream cone, you know, the way kind of a person would. And I bent down to give Finn his, and he was like, chomp, chomp, and just took the whole thing in one bite. And it was kind of funny. We were just laughing about how he eats. He wasn't, you know, just kind of licking the ice cream off of it. He ate that whole thing in one bite, cone and all. He's a fun dog. But yeah, so plans kind of changed today. That's why we were doing a coloring chat. But that's okay. Alright. Let's do this swimsuit. I don't know. I was thinking black and white, but I don't know. I don't know what color I want to go with it. Hopefully I've done these stripes right so that they're going to line up. I think I have. Sometimes I do the stripes and I don't like actually count them beforehand and there's an odd number, so you know you have two that are the same color right next to each other and that makes me angry. Just personal beef I have with it. Okay. So the stripes did line up, so that's good. I don't know. I don't want it to be white, though. Maybe another darker red color? Let me look and see what I got here in the Hue markers. That wine red color up here, the very first color, might be a good one. It's kind of got a purple in it, so it would add a little more color to the picture. Let me get it. Okay, let's see what this looks like. This part right here is really fine and tiny, so let me get it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I think that'll be fun. That looks good, I think. It adds a little bit of a purplish element to the picture so far. I didn't want to do too many colors on this page. Sometimes I like to go all out with the colors, sometimes I like to keep it like a limited palette. You know, just see what happens. I don't usually have in mind what I want to do for a picture before I start it. I did not with this one, but after I colored her body red, I was thinking that the black would look good with it. Okay, yeah. I think that looks good. So we're going to do her pants now in the same color. And I'll do the dots on the pants in the wine red color. Alright. I don't really have too much to talk about that's happened today because it's not too long after I have filmed my Christmas Eve page. So there's not really too much to say new that's happened, you know, just been sitting around for a few days, kind of not really doing anything. I've been sick for a few days. I think there's a stomach bug going around. At first I thought it was something I ate, but then a friend that I'd been in contact with got sick too. Sorry about that, Tyler. I think I gave it to him, so that made me think it is a stomach bug since one of our friends got sick as well. So, I've just been sitting around not really doing anything. The animals are doing good. Bucky is in brumation. If you remember, that is what we call reptile hibernation. I did get some quail eggs from the local Asian market. We have a local Asian market, but it's really, really small. And they don't sell much, but they do have quail eggs that they sell from a local farm. And I picked up some quail eggs because I thought I would try feeding them to my possum, Kimchi, because he likes chicken eggs, so I thought he could have a whole quail egg. I could just, you know, give him the whole little egg and he could eat that. He does like them. Bucky, I've tried to feed him twice now since he's entered brumation and he didn't want to eat. But I put a couple of quail eggs in the enclosure, and he woke up and went right to those and ate them and then went back to sleep. So he's doing just fine. Just kind of hibernating for the year, now that it's colder. Glad he came up to eat something, though. They usually will come out to eat something, but their appetite is really decreased. So it's good that he came out to eat some quail eggs. I'll probably see if he wants a few more in a couple of days. I just feed them to them raw. I don't do that with chicken eggs because chicken eggs are obviously so much bigger and they make a ginormous mess raw, but he can eat a quail egg in one bite, so, you know, it's not really as messy. So I'll probably see if he wants a few more of those soon. Otherwise, just gonna leave him be and let him sleep. He'll come back when it starts to warm up around March, usually. That's about when he comes out of brumation. And the frogs are doing the same. The tree frogs aren't, but like the Pac-Man frogs and my bullfrog, the frogs that like to bury, they're the ones that are hibernating right now. Pretty much everything's gone down to hibernate. The possum doesn't, which is kind of weird. You would think that he would, but I guess he's a species from Brazil where perhaps he doesn't need to hibernate. I don't really know. So he's still up and around, and that's about it. That's kind of the only animal that I see up and around at night, aside from the tree frogs. They don't croak right now, though. They've stopped croaking. They'll go back to that in springtime, usually. They are quiet now. But yeah, I don't really have too much to report about the animals, because they've pretty much all gone down to brumate. The tarantulas, of course, don't hibernate, but they're tarantulas. You kind of see them, you know, once every month or so. They like to hide a lot. It's one of my tarantulas I haven't seen in about 3 or 4 months. I know he's alive because I put the food in there and the food's gone. So I know he's living. I just don't see him because he's down in his hole. But that's alright. I know what I signed up for when I got tarantulas. That's kind of just part of keeping tarantulas. You don't really see them that often. And that's okay. You know, I think it's just fun still to decorate the tank and see what they do with it, because they'll definitely turn it into their own home. But they don't hibernate because they are bugs. So really, I've just been up at night to take care of the possum because I have to prepare his food every night. He does need a certain amount of protein, and some people can achieve that with wet cat food. And some people swear by the wet cat food, but he won't eat it. I've tried to feed him some wet cat food before. You know, it's like the expensive, high-quality wet cat food. It's not any of, like, the cheaper Purina brand or anything, because that has a lot of corn and soy in it, and he can't process that. He needs, like, just the stuff that's meat. But he won't eat it, so of course he has to be difficult for me. So I have all kinds of stuff in the freezer right now for him, all kinds of meat that's just for him. He has shrimp in there. I learned that he really likes frozen shrimp. Some people on the forum I'm on said that shrimp were a good source of protein, so I bought some to try, and he certainly likes those. He's got chicken meat, and he's got ground turkey, and he gets eggs, of course, both chicken and now quail eggs. He does eat insects. Once a week I offer insects, but they're not, you know, as high as protein as actual meat is. So he doesn't get them so often. And he does eat mice just like a snake does. I know that's kind of weird because he looks like a little mouse, but he actually does eat mice. You know, you get just the frozen mice that you can buy at the pet store. You probably didn't know you could buy frozen mice at the pet store, but if you kept snakes, you certainly knew that. They do sell frozen mice. And the reason he has one of those every week is when you're feeding an animal like that mainly eats meat, it's really important that they get everything. You know, in the wild, if he caught prey and ate it, which in the wild it said they eat things like birds, mice, little lizards. If he caught something to eat, well then he would get the whole thing, you know. It would be not, you know, just the meat of the animal and the bones and the organs. And so you have to be careful in captivity to be able to recreate that. Because there's calcium in the bones, and, you know, like when people eat liver, there's lots of vitamins and stuff in that. So there's vitamins in the organ meats and everything. So he does have to have what we would call a whole prey item. That's what we would call that. So I feed him the mice. Just like with snakes. Which I feed mice because I already had plenty because of my snakes. Some people feed quail, chicks, and things like that. But I think the mice are easier to find and easier to provide. So there you go. You've learned something about keeping a possum. They have to have a whole prey item every week to make sure that they're getting the right nutrients in their diet. So fun. Really, it's kind of weird owning one, but it's alright. He's a little funky. They're kind of an interesting animal to keep. He runs on a little wheel just like a hamster, which is kind of odd, you would think. A little predator like that running on a wheel, but he loves it. I hear him down there running on it like 24/7. I think that's what he mainly does. You know what? That's darker than I wanted it to be. That's kind of the same color as her pants. Which, on my card, it didn't look that dark. This marker is really wet. Do you see that? It's like it's bleeding or something. I don't know what's going on with that. Here, we'll do it. Yeah, okay. Do you see what it did to the page? It's like really, really wet. I don't know what's going on there. Look at the back of it. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Let me, you know what, I'm going to set that marker to the side, actually. Let me look at the other end of it. The other end of it looks okay. I don't know, it looks like it's been damaged or something. I don't know why it's leaking like that. Oh well, I can cover that up with a white gel pen. That'll be okay. We'll fix it. I'm going to let it dry first before I do that. I don't know what that was about. Let's use a different color on the rest of it then. That's really bizarre. Okay. Let's see, this marker's normal. Oh well, mistakes happen. Well, that wasn't really a mistake, but more over something wrong with the marker, but you know, that happens occasionally. It's okay. It'll be fine. We'll just go over it with the white gel pen and you won't see the bleeding too much, so that'll be fine. But that was weird, not sure what happened there. I'll set that marker aside. Have you had this happen with your OU markers before? It looked like the marker still had more of a fine tip on it, like I hadn't worn it down much, so it looks like a marker that I haven't used much. Have you ever had one that you haven't used much leak like that? I don't know, I guess it's got a leak or something. I don't know what happened there. This is more of the color that I was looking for, though. Here's what the cool gray says it looks like on the chart right here. It's that color. Definitely not as stark as her pants, but I'm thinking maybe because it was leaking, that made a lot of ink come out and made it look darker. This lighter gray was kind of more what I was going for. After I do this, we'll see if that's dry enough to put some white gel pen around it and kind of cover it up a little bit. That's what I do to hide blemishes like that. Okay. Let's do that really quickly. I'm using the Jelly Roll, well no, I'm using the Pentel one on this Milky Pop. These are expensive. If you find them at Hobby Lobby, use the coupon on them. But they are worth the price for sure. You know, actually, we might use paint on that because that's a bigger spot than what I thought. Well, you get to see what happens when I color. Sometimes we have crazy things go on like that. Totally unexpected. Live. There we go. There we go. Now it's just the little bit on her, but that'll be okay. You can't really see it unless you know what to look for. Okay. So let's do the ground. Let's not use the Ohuhu markers though, just in case. I'll go through them all. I think it's just that one marker. I haven't dropped this case or anything, so I really don't know what happened there. I don't think I've dropped any of the markers ever. Just a little bit of a snafu. Kind of weird. Oh well. Oh well, not every page is going to be completely perfect, and it's okay to get outside the lines. You know, I think that's what Carla Magana says in the back of her books, is she encourages you to color outside of the lines, right? Oh, speaking of Carla Magana, I might pick up her newest book with my Christmas money. That would be a good one. The Retro Deco, I think is what it's called. Something like that. That would be a good one to pick up. I don't have any of her books, even though I want all of them. Except for the Tropical Cocktail one. I'm not one for really coloring food, so I could skip out on that one. But I want all of her books, you know, that do portraits and feature people and everything. Okay, this is looking good, I think. I'm trying to use as many different shades of red as I can, and I don't know. I think I have the 100th set of Cali-Art markers. I don't think it's the 120, I think it's the 100 set. So I don't know how many different reds are in it, but I'm really trying to use all of them on this picture. So I think this is Old Red. Yeah, this is Old Red, which I actually have 2 of. I know I'm missing something from the Cali-Art markers because they gave me 2 of this color. So I would imagine that, yeah, I don't have 101 markers. I think I do have 100, and that there's a color that's supposed to be in here that I'm missing. But the Cali-Art marker set didn't come with a little chart like the Ohuhu markers did. That's what I like about those. It came with that chart, so I knew exactly what colors I was supposed to have. So I have no idea what type of color I would be missing to begin with out of the Cali-Art markers. Just know that I am certainly missing one. Maybe it's another shade of red we could put on the picture, or maybe it's something completely different. Who knows? Alright, I'm going to switch to the chisel tip. I think that would be smarter, because we are coloring such a big open space here. And I was going to make these blood puddles down here glittery, so if we go over them a little bit with this marker, it'll be fine. It's not going to bother since we're going to do them in glitter. There we go, that's better. I can't really do fine spaces with the chisel tip markers. I know a lot of people can do that, and a lot of people like the chisel tip markers for fine spaces, but I cannot do fine spaces. I find that to be really difficult. I know I need to angle it just right, and that's part of the problem, is I'm not angling it right. Oh well. Oh, okay, so I thought of something we could talk about. Do you guys do New Year's resolutions? I don't really do them. My family doesn't really do them. I think a lot of people drop their New Year's resolutions pretty quickly, don't they? I don't really have one. I suppose I could make one right now that's coloring related, and for me, I would want to finish my Chibi Girls Grayscale book. Counting the pages that I've done this month, I will be halfway finished with it, so I think that's a pretty reasonable goal. I've been, since August, around August, I think, I've been coloring at least 2 pages a month out of it, so, you know, if I kept up at that pace, I would absolutely finish it in time next year. So, that could be my resolution. I do need to get up and actually go through the shelf that is behind me here. There's a whole shelf of coloring books that you can't see. It's a little shelf because I live in an A-frame house, so I can't actually have like a tall shelf. It'll hit the ceiling. I'm going to move the book just a second so I can do this corner down here. But it's got a lot of books on it. I need to go through them and sort through them and figure out if I haven't colored in a book, am I going to color in it? When am I going to color in it? You know. And if I decide that I don't think I'm ever going to color in it, I need to donate them or do a giveaway on the channel for some of them and give them away. You know, because we have a Goodwill and there's lots of old folks' homes that, if you can't see the page, sorry, I'm trying to get right in here really quickly in this small spot with the marker. I'll turn it back in just a second. There's lots of old folks' homes that are always looking for activities and books and things like that. So I need to go through them and sort them out. I said I was going to do that back in November, I think, and I just never did. Okay. Here we go. Let me get this back in the camera. There we go. Alright, so we've done the ground, and I'll do that, like I said, in gel pen, so it'll stand out. So we're going to do these vines behind her. Then we're going to do those in black, because I think that would look good. I don't use this black marker too often. There's not a lot really to use it on. You know, you can't use it on grayscale, the solid black, because it just kind of eats up the grayscale and eats up the lines and everything in the book. Learned that the hard way. Yeah, okay, I think a realistic goal would be to complete the girl's book and to actually go through my shelf and clean it off. I think out of all the books I picked for books that I would want to complete in 2021, the Chibi Girls one is like the most realistic one for me to actually finish. And the other books I would love to complete, you know, at some time. It may not be in 2021, it may not be in 2022, you know, who knows when it would be, but I would like to finish those books as well. I just think the Chibi Girls one's the most realistic because I've really been pushing myself to finish that one. I think that Nikki from Nikki and Niagara is also trying really hard to finish the Chibi Girls Grayscale book. And I think she is a lot further ahead than I am. But I've been seeing her updates, and I think she colors 3 or 4 pages a month out of it. She's been doing buddy colors out of it a lot. Which I will do a buddy color with you in the book. You just have to message me on Instagram and ask me to do one. I have colored half the pages, so it might take a minute for us to find a page that neither of us have colored. But as soon as we do, I would gladly color it with you. That would help me to finish the book, because some of the pages, you know, I think they are not that interesting. There's a page with a girl, if you have the book, you will know exactly what page I'm talking about. She's like walking through a cave, and she's got on her little explorer outfit, and there's a snake in the cave. But almost all of the picture is just rock background. You have her and the snake, and then it's just all rock background. And I think, you know, it's not too interesting of a picture. It's just going to be all gray or brown rock. So, you know, if I had like a buddy color or something, someone that wanted to pick out a page that they thought was interesting, that maybe I didn't think was interesting, that would like encourage me to go ahead and color that page, if that makes sense. So yes, you can join me at any time with that. You just have to message me. I'm not on Instagram all day. I usually check it when I wake up, and I check it in the evening. So it may take me a little bit to answer your message. I promise I'm not ignoring you. I'm just busy. I usually color at night right before I go to bed, so that's why I check it in the evening, just to make sure no one wants to do anything with me. And it may take me a couple of days to do the page as well. I know some people can sit down and do a whole page in a day, and I can do it with pages like this from Deborah Muller, but the Chibi Girls pages usually take me 2 days. A couple of hours across a span of 2 days. I kind of have to get up and take a break from it because it starts to hurt my hand. So it may take me a little bit to finish my page, but as long as you're okay with that, then you should hit me up. I will accept your offer gladly. Okay, let's do this here. And Instagram's just the best place to message me for it, because YouTube doesn't really have a messaging system. And on Instagram, we can send pictures back and forth, so you can send me a picture of the page you want to do and everything, so I know what page it is that you're wanting to do, if that makes sense. You could email me too if you don't have an Instagram. I check my email every day as well. And my email and Instagram are both in the description below, so you can check there. If you don't have an Instagram or an email, which I think you have to have an email to have a YouTube account to comment, you know. We could try to set something up in the comments, but that might be a little bit difficult. I think to be able to comment, you do have to have an email, so it would just be easiest to email me. Okay, so we're going to do this up here, and I might have to turn the page for me to be able to get the other vines on the other side. They're a little bit of a stretch over for me. My camera is not... The book is turned at an angle. To you, it looks like the book is perfectly positioned, but for me, it's actually at a little bit of an angle because of how the camera has to set. So I am going to turn the book a little bit. You guys will still be able to see it like that. But I gotta turn it for a minute to be able to get this here. Okay, there we go. Almost done with this page. The last, well, not technically the last page for me, since I'm coloring it on the 28th, and I'll probably find a New Year's-y type of page to color. I did look for one, and I don't have one in the books I have in right now. The book I got coming in is The Whimsy Girls Celebrate Festive Occasions. I think that's the title. It's got kind of a long title. So I know there's a New Year's Eve page in that. But in the books I have right now, I couldn't find one, so that's another reason I decided to do a Deborah Muller page in lieu of having a New Year's page. I thought, well, I could do Deborah Muller since I love her books so much, and you've seen me color her quite a bit on the channel, and this is like one of my favorite Deborah Muller books. I just thought it would be fitting to do this. But as I was saying, not technically the last page I've colored for me, but the last page you guys will see me color in 2021. In 2020, I mean. Maybe that'll be a tradition. Maybe every year the final page I'll do on camera is a Deborah Muller page. Because I don't think she's going to stop putting out books anytime soon. And she's already put out enough books to last a personal lifetime, I think. If you bought all of her books, you would really have a hard time completing every single book, because that would be so many images. I don't even know how many books she has out now. She's got at least 50, I would think, right? That's so many, because you have to think of how many she has with the Zen Doodle Company. Not just one she's self-published. She's definitely got at least 50. I don't have all of her books. That would be a lot of shelf space. I gotta kind of pick my favorites. And my favorites are definitely her Halloween books. So I definitely, you know, I would like to buy all of her Halloween books. Every time she puts out Halloween books, I buy those. I did buy the Season of Love book that she put out this year for Christmas. And I really like it. It doesn't have any girls in it. It's definitely not pin-up style. It has animals in it. But I think it's really cute. You guys know how much I like animals, so of course I was all over that. I do like her animal books. I think most of them she publishes with the Zendoodle Company. But I do like those as well. I know some people prefer just the people. That's like the only Deborah Muller book I have that's not like a creepy goth pinup style. And Misty sent me a picture the other day that she colored from one of Deborah's newer books for Halloween that said it reminded her of me, and I thought that was so funny. They color a lot in these books. And I haven't picked up this book in a little while. I've been a little bit busy. I tried to do a lot of fall pages in November, and I tried to do a lot of Christmas pages this month, and it's not exactly Christmassy. This little demon's not. It's not exactly wintry either, but oh well. So I haven't picked up this book in a while. So it's good to pick it up again, because I have colored quite a few pages in it. I could see myself finishing this book in 2021 as well. I probably am halfway through this book as well. Of course, this isn't as many images as the Chibi Girls book. I think that is 25. I think this is 25, maybe 20 pictures. I don't know if it says anywhere. It doesn't. The Chibi Girls book is 50, so, you know, that's definitely quite the feat. But 25 images, and I'm halfway through it, so that's at least 12. You know, I could color one a month then and be done with it next year. That's pretty realistic too. I need to finish some of my books. I do. I keep buying books, and I think we all talk about part of the coloring hobby is collecting coloring books, and that's certainly true for me. I've got so many books that I have never colored a single picture in, and I need to do that. I need to go through those, and I need to color in them. I mean, what's the point in having them if I'm not going to color in them, you know? I'm pretty bad about buying stuff and then not coloring in it. I need to kind of break that habit. Maybe that could be my New Year's resolution. Maybe if I buy a book from Amazon or at Walmart or whatever, I need the color in it before I buy a new book. Maybe that could be my resolution. Okay. So let me fix the page and put it back all nice for you. There we go. And let's do... I don't think I'm going to put any Posca paint on here. I think I'm just going to do the glitter. Let me do these little circles in the background, though. Let's do some of them in red, and we can do a couple of them in glitter. Alternate, kind of. I think. She does these little circles a lot, Deborah does in her books. Hang on. There's another donkey. I'm guessing that it's feeding time. Let me check the clock. Yes, it is dinner time. Donkeys are pretty good about letting you know when it's dinner time. I don't think you guys will be able to hear that on camera. I don't know how great the audio is, if it'll pick that up or not. If you do hear something pretty loud in the background, that is one of the donkeys telling you that it's dinner time. And I'm almost finished with this picture, so once I'm done, I'll make sure they've been fed. They're probably a little angry because they're not getting grain like the horse, but they don't need that. Donkeys get overweight really easily on grain, so they just get hay. So we have to separate them to feed them. And that makes them a little angry. They'll be okay. I did buy them a Christmas gift too, just like the dog. I went out and bought a big rope toy. Like a rope toy for dogs, you know, that you can pull on with your dog. Because they'll both grab one end of it and pull on it with each other. Alright, let's do some glitter. I think these are the pens I'm going to use. These colors, and if you can get these on sale as well at Hobby Lobby, you know, they have 50% off sometimes for certain things. If you can keep checking back for when they have 50% off on pins, definitely pick these up. They're worth the price. They're just a little expensive at full price. I mean, they're worth it at full price too. They're just a little expensive in my opinion. Just a little bit for what they are. They are worth it though. But I always like to wait and catch them on sale. Just to save a little bit of money. What is the that glitter glue stuff called that everyone uses? Oh, I can't think of it now. Sparkles or something like that? Oh, I know I'm so far off on the name and you're going to be telling me in the comments. I want to pick some of that stuff up too, because they make it clear. And I could use a clear glitter sometimes, I think. For certain things that would just look really good. Okay, so now once we've got the glitter on there, you're distracted from the massacre that the pin did down here. You don't see it because your eyes go to the glitter, so yeah. Okay. Let's do the blood, and this is the black and red pen. I really like this one. I think this one's such a nice combination of colors. And in my light, it always looks nice and red, but when I take it out of the light, of course, it looks black. But I think that she would look good with black lipstick and black nail polish, so either color fits her, I think. The only ones, I don't think that the silver and gold are the dual metallic. I think they're just silver and gold. I think every other color has two colors to it. I think the silver and gold don't, though. At least they don't appear to me. They're the only ones that I can never see two colors in, so they must be normal. Let me look at the back of the package. Oh no, it says gold and yellow and silver and light silver, but I don't ever really see that. We're gonna do these armbands in silver and her halo in gold. Yeah, see, to me that's just silver, but I guess silver and light silver, I mean, is there really a difference in that to you? Not to me. And I use these a lot, of course. You can see that there's barely any left in that. We're going to turn the page again for me to do the halo. I do like that she's wearing a halo, even though she's clearly Psycho Angel, it says. And she's got her little demon tail. And she's cut off her own foot, it looks like. Uh-oh. I might have to pick up a... No? Okay. After I scratched it out on paper, there it goes. I do have another gold in case this runs out. I have a backup because I do use this so much. Anytime there's like glittery jewelry or coins on a page, I go to this automatically just because of how shiny it is. I think it looks so good. You kind of can't see what I'm doing because I've got the page turned so awkward. Let me try to turn it in a way where we can see it and I can still get it colored. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Now we're going to turn it upside down to do the halo. If we can. There we go. That's better. Because I'm always bad at setting my hand in the glitter and getting it everywhere. So I kind of turn the pages a little bit awkward and everything to make sure I get it all colored without wiping it everywhere. Because trust me, it will be everywhere. Okay. Let's do the little circles in the red and black, I think. Alright, so this here should be dry, so I should be able to put my hands on that. Yeah, it's dry. I can feel it. Alright. So this is turning out good. I don't know what my plans are for these last few days of 2020 are going to be. Probably the same thing I'm always doing. Just taking a break. I've really enjoyed my break from college. It was really needed because that statistics class was so hard. Usually, on breaks like this, we would go out, have like a little vacation, not anything super fancy. You know, usually we'd just go into the city and shop, go to the malls, but that's not an option right now. Everything's closed. So for this break, I'm really taking the break part literally by doing nothing. But that's okay, sometimes that's best. You know, I've been sick the past few days, so I haven't felt like doing anything anyways. Sometimes I feel guilty, like maybe I'm wasting my break by not really doing anything, but other times I'm like, you know, taking several weeks to just sleep in and do nothing might be good for my body. It might be like a recharge and a reset before I come up on the semester of college and don't have time. And I do have to say, since I've got that writing class, I may not be able to film as often for the first 8 weeks there, starting on the 19th, because it is a pretty busy class. So you may not see as many color and chats coming out then. Let me remove my backing paper here. And we are done with this one. Let me put her up in the camera and show off all the glitter. Let me adjust my light out this way. There we go. You can see the glitter down there, and she's got it on her eyes and her lips. And you can see it on all the circles. I think she looks good. Even her halo is glittery. We had that little snafu there with the knife, but I just covered that up with the white paint. Now you can't really tell. So I think everything turned out really good. Yeah, I'm happy with this one. I'm happy with this as a final color and chat for 2020. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully we will have a nice 2021 as well.